gloves made just for this test, one with a larger opening for his right index finger and another with the index and middle finger openings sewn together. While Razgat Lioglu is clearly far from 100%, he still managed to set the top lap time of the test on day one. Fast laps and pit lane stoppies, just what the doctor ordered. His feedback was more than welcome for BMW, who in Jerez were relying solely on Michael van der Mark's input, as well as test riders Sivan Gintoli and Marcus Reiterberger. They have been working on finding a direction for the new M1000RR, as well as adapting to regulation changes to 2025 effective Cavani chassis. Moving on to a second talking point, where are the Ducatis stacking up? Well, there's no points for testing, but bragging rights for now would go to Nicolo Bulega, who across Jerez and Portimao has seemed to have half a step over the rest of the Panigales. He was third on day one despite finding traffic on his hot lap and was content with his race pace. Single lap pace was teammate Alvaro Bautista's big weakness in 2024, and he wouldn't seem to be back to his 2023 self just yet. Bautista has taken a step back to work on a base setup for his Panigale V4R, but the weather and two crashes at turns 7 and 9 haven't exactly given the double world champion ideal conditions to find his groove ahead of Phillip Island. As to the big names on Ducati's independent bikes, none of them were at the top end of the time sheets as they were in Jerez, with Danilo Petrucci just ahead of Sam Lowes and Scott Redding over a single lap. Andrea Iannone and Team Go 11, who were present in Portimao, however opted to remain in pit lane. While BMW and Ducati are the on-paper favourites in 2025 given last year, would it be a stretch to place the Bimota alongside them? Well, for now, both Axel Bassani and Alex Lowes have been in the top 5 positions at every test, both in single laps and race pace. And that is with a completely new bike and a fairly exhaustive list of testing items to go through. It's early days, but the 47 and the 22 have certainly hit the ground running. And the Bimota do have a few nice memories from their last time racing at Phillip Island. Right, but what about the remaining 3 manufacturers in World Superbike? Well, from the limited running that we've had in testing, it could appear that the gap to the top has closed a bit for Yamaha, Kawasaki and Honda. The blue bikes in particular were fast off the blocks in Portimao, with Remy Gardner and Jonathan Rea inside the top 5 on day 1 over a single lap. Only Andrea Locatelli and Gardner were able to set representative dry laps on day 2, with the rest of the testing plan unfortunately limited to pit stop practice for Australia. Over at Kawasaki, Garrett Gerloff was once again competitive as the sole Kawasaki rider competing this year in World Superbike. The Texan has been finding his confidence on the qualifying tyre with a Pacetti-backed ZX-10RR. And as for Honda, Xavi Vierke made it all 6 manufacturers inside the top 7 positions on day 1, which is no small feat considering the 97's past struggles over a single lap on the Honda. Turn 1 crash on day 2 won't have dampened his spirits. The flip side of the coin, however, has been Iker Lecuona, who returned from injury at Portimao, but is still fighting through significant pain in his shoulder. One final thing of note from Superbike is the performance of our 2025 rookies. Ryan Vickers has led the trio at Portimao and Jerez, not a surprise given his prior experience on the Superbike, but it hasn't been a significant advantage over Jari Montella on the Barney Racing Ducati and Bahatin Sofoglu on the Yamaha Moto X Racing bike, the 2 riders who have been promoted from Supersport this year. The test did end on sour note, however, for the Turkish rider, with a crash at turn 1 and a suspected collarbone injury. That leads us on to Supersport and one final talking point. Is there a favourite heading into round 1? The new Yamaha R9 has certainly caused an impression, with Lucas Mayes topping the timesheets on day 1 and Michael Rinaldi adapting quickly alongside Andrew Pitt. But Ducati V2 newcomers Philipp Ertel and Marcel Schrotter have also shown a pace advantage in recent tests. And we haven't even seen some of last year's frontrunners, including 2023 and 2024 runner-up Stefano Manzi. It's a massive question mark heading into a mammoth season opener. Phillip Island awaits in just 3 weeks' time.